Hi class, my name is Susan. We're going to continue with our master classes, but since we're in quarantine, we're going to study from home. And today we're going to talk about personality temperaments or personality traits. We have four personality traits here: sanguine, choleric, melancholic, and phlegmatic. Each of these persons, they have their strengths and weaknesses. We're going to begin with the strength of a sanguine person. Usually, as sanguine people are very outgoing. They are optimistic and confident. They are outgoing in a way that they can easily make friends with anyone, depending on what environment they are in. Then they are optimistic in a way that they are very positive about life. They are very positive about whatever problems they are facing. They're going to be positive, knowing I'll get through this. Then the weaknesses of a sanguine person. The sanguine person is very disorganized. They are latecomers. They are very poor at keeping time. I think it's the same as late at keeping time. They're very forgetful. They usually want to postpone things. They usually want to do things at the last minute. If you're to do your things at the last minute, meaning it won't come out as the way it was supposed to come out. Then choleric person. Let's look at the strength of who a choleric person is. They are very focused. Goal-oriented. Someone who is goal-oriented, if let me say they are heading a project or they are working on a project, they're going to give it their best so that that project ends, not just ending, but ending so perfectly. Then they are good at solving problems. Then let's look at their weaknesses. Choleric people are usually impatient. They are aggressive. They have low empathy. Actually, usually people who are choleric, they are leaders. As I mentioned earlier, they are very good oriented, they are focused, they are good at solving problems. Usually good leaders have such traits. So if we look at their weaknesses, they are impatient, aggressive, and low empathy. Someone who has low empathy, they only think about themselves. They don't think about other people. I'll give an example of a boss. You have your boss who has about 4 cars, and you, the worker, you do not even own a car, and you're supposed to go to the field. In this era of coronavirus, your boss expects you to move in a public car which is not safe. So your boss is not being thoughtful. Instead of him giving you a car to use, he'll just tell you go use the public means. So we call that low empathy. Then aggressive in a way that these people usually, he's going to impact the pressure on other people. He won't mind to know how other people are feeling. So that's it with who a choleric person is. Then melancholic, we're going to look at their strength. These people are usually thoughtful. They are usually thoughtful, they are very organized, they are cautious. Then, yeah, they are very thoughtful, conscious, and organized. Someone who is conscious, I'll give an example of my sister. Okay, let me give an example. You're staying with a friend, you're staying in the same apartment with a friend, and they're very conscious in a way that if they left, they'll realize something that you have touched. You don't have to disorganize that something that you have touched. Just a little touch. This person will be able to tell that, Susan, you touched my book. So that is someone who is very conscious. Then organized, of course, if you're conscious and you're able to tell, Susan touched my book, you can easily realize how someone has disorganized your things. They are very thoughtful. In a way, let me say I have traveled up country. If you're thoughtful, you really have to check on Susan if she has reached well. So then let's look at their weaknesses. They are too conscious. They're very difficult to please. They're very pessimistic. Yes, it's good to be conscious, but at the same time, being too conscious. They are too conscious in a way. As I explained earlier, touching their thing, they will be able to tell you touched on there something. Then they are too difficult to please. Then pessimistic. They are very negative. They are very negative. Maybe they easily lose hope. Then let's look at someone who is phlegmatic. Phlegmatic. People who are phlegmatic, they're usually very peaceful, very kind, very consistent, very relaxed, peaceful, kind, relaxed, consistent. They are peaceful in a way. They're very peaceful, they are kind, they're relaxed, they are consistent. If you made a friend with someone who is phlegmatic, just be sure your friendship will still, because they won't take other sides. Since they want their peace, they will keep consistent. Then, if I'm to explain the peaceful part of it, let me say you have an argument with someone who is phlegmatic. Since they want peace, they won't go too much into the argument. Since all they want is the argument to end, they'll just be like, yeah, it's okay, you win. So they keep with their peace and you go on with your argument. Then let's look at their weaknesses. These people are very shy, they're sarcastic, they're indecisive. I hope this is the right spelling of indecisive. They are very indecisive in a way that they wait for people to make for them decisions. Then they're very shy, since I think they're very shy. Then that's it with our class today. I hope you've been able to identify where you belong in this these traits that I have explained to you. Thank you so much for listening. Bye bye.